How's everybody doing? Like C+, maybe, all right? Can we try one more time, guys? Like, I'm an extrovert, which means I get my energy from other people, right? So I need y'all to have a lot of energy so I can do my job better. So, one more time. How's everybody doing? Yeah, awesome. Change, yeah, Jeff, you stole my opening remarks. We're gonna have to coordinate on this better next time. But it's truly the only thing that we can count on in marketing is this change. That and probably how small the industry actually is if you really think about it. I bet we have 6 degrees of separation with everybody in this room if you ask the right questions. In fact, one of the speakers that we have on stage today is someone I went to high school with. Yeah, we collectively decided that this was going to be our 20-year reunion here instead of going to whatever our classmates actually organized. Right? We sat next to each other in science class. I'm not going to tell you who it is. I want you to guess over the course of the morning, or maybe this person will reveal themselves independently. But it's this change that fuels us, right? It's to adapt, to innovate, right? To constantly thrive. And I don't think any channel has undergone as much change as performance marketing has in the last 20 to 25 years, right? Back in the early days of PPC advertising. Does anyone still call it that nowadays, right? When CTR was our best metric of success, right? And then the rise of social media came, where engagement metrics and likes took over, and contextual targeting started to be a thing. Facebook launched its ads platform. Businesses had pages, right? We all remember these early days. That led to this mobile revolution and geo-based and location-based targeting, which led into predictive modeling, big data, programmatic, cross-channel attribution, the customer lifetime value, right? And of course, AI. It's been a really wild ride, hasn't it? Especially if you've been in this industry more than 50 hours, Jeff. I have a soft spot in my heart for performance marketing. It's how I got my start. It's ingrained in my blood. I first learned about SEO when I was a junior at the University of Florida studying journalism. And my professor was teaching keyword research and how we need to incorporate popular search terms into our headlines and articles to increase our online page views. And I adored seeing my name in print on paper. It was such a rush to see it right there when I could grab it from the stand. But do you know what I loved even more than that? Is seeing the real-time metrics pop up of those online page views. And that's when I knew, I was I'm supposed to work in digital. And after a brief stint in music journalism and book editing, I landed my first job in marketing, which was necessary because as much as I loved writing, I was broke. I cannot make a living off of journalism. And so I found my way into paid search and SEO in 2010. I worked my way into content marketing, into media buying, retail media, e-commerce, loyalty, product marketing, right? Changing jobs, adapting to skill sets, and innovating as all of these new platforms hit the market. And most of y'all have gone through similar changes over the course of however long you've been in this industry. Right? Very few people can say they're at the same company or the same skill set, the same job that they were when they first got started. And I certainly didn't think back in 2010 I'd find my way back into journalism, right? Covering the industry that I love so much, reconnecting with people that I sat next to in science class. But change. It's really funny how these little changes that you make along the way get you to where you're supposed to go all along. You're going to change jobs. You're going to change companies and industries and skill sets. You're going to change cities. But this this little community of marketing, this little network that you're a part of, like that's never going to change. And I know that 3 days out of the office is a lot. You are missing meetings and your inbox is piling up, right? And you're missing meetings that probably could have been emails anyway, and no one really needs that PowerPoint deck tomorrow, right? It's all a farce. But it's very rare that you get the opportunity to spend 3 days connecting with peers from brands that you admire, swapping war stories and success metrics and what's working over here. It's very rare you get that opportunity. And so when you think about it, 3 days really isn't all that long. So let's get into it. As a reminder, everything on stage is recorded and on the record, a core element of what we do here at MediaPost. It's journalism. It is providing a platform to share the fine work that y'all are putting out. But it is off stage when I think some of the most enriching dialogue happens, and that's at noon when we will turn the cameras off and we move to our roundtables, which are meant to be deeper dives into topics that we will cover on stage today. And we're going to talk about a lot of different things across the performance channel. We're going to talk about customer acquisition strategies across the emerging platforms. And we're all seeing firsthand how fast performance is changing. And that means we need to be even more judicious about where our budgets are going. And so how are we driving real acquisitions across these new channels into our media mix? And you're going to hear from Extraverse Media about how they helped Honey Stinger expand into the sports space, blending smart targeting and seamless purchase paths, meeting customers wherever they shop, which is the goal that we're all trying to do. And we're going to talk about omnichannel, because how can we not, right? It is probably the most overused word in marketing right now. And has anyone truly ever mastered that in practice? But first, we're going to talk about value. And everybody is struggling with this word right now. We have a very complicated relationship with the word value. We are all grappling with the rising cost of businesses. We are all wondering, WTF is going to happen with these tariffs that may or may not come. And at the end of the day, though, discounting in a rewards-based program still remains one of the most effective ways to drive an immediate conversion. So how do we deliver personalized offers that both engage our customers and demonstrating measurable ROI? How do we reach new audiences without over-discounting? Please join me in welcoming our opening keynote conversation, Christine Luong, VP of Product Management of Offers for MasterCard, to talk about offer optimization, audience targeting, and customer data best practices. Christine.